So, just to recap, negative plus a negative gives you a negative answer. The only time the signs change is when you're multiplying and dividing, and that's because we're going to take the opposite. When we are subtracting a negative and a positive, it's just the same thing as negative plus a negative. All right, is there any questions on that? Now, subtraction. If I have a negative plus a positive answer, and I'm going to go ahead and put this in quotations so your sign goes to the biggest one. Translation, if I have $2 and I'm taking away $8, I'm going to put the 8 on top and subtract as usual, but what I'm taking away is more than what I started with, which is why my answer becomes negative. Guys, math is very logical. So if it doesn't make sense, if your answer doesn't make sense, or if the way you're doing it doesn't make sense, it's probably not correct. Are y'all okay with that? Now let's say, let's say I have something like this. This is when you have the opposite of a negative. It turns into this. You're basically adding a positive at that point. If you're taking away a negative, the only way to take away a negative is to add a positive. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, I have some chips. Not like chips you eat, but like integer chips that you flip back and forth. Monday I can show you what I'm talking about. Just come in for tutorials and I'll walk you through it. All right, any questions? Here's what your nice little people says you need to have written in. For addition, they said when adding numbers with the same sign, add the numbers and keep the sign. When adding numbers with different signs, subtract the numbers and keep the sign of the larger number with the absolute value. Hence why I simplified. It's the exact same thing as what I just wrote. The only difference is that different signs, I put it under subtraction. Guys, basically, if you're subtracting a negative, just make it a big old plus sign. Keep your first number the same, put a big old plus sign. So, I'm going to highlight this, that way y'all can see this. Make it a plus sign. Alrighty? Now, we're doing with fractions. So what do y'all see? Negative and a negative. So I borrowed, go ahead and write this on your page. Because if you'll think of negatives like that, that'll probably help. Alrighty. One other thing. See this little positive right here? Or plus sign? If you see that your first answer is not negative, get rid of that plus sign and just treat it like a subtraction. If your first number is not negative, get rid of that plus sign. Y'all cool with that? Yes. Because at that point it's confusing. Alright, so what's 2 plus 1? 3. And guess what? We're done. Because your denominators are already common. Questions? Sir?
So you said, like, take away the negative sign?
Yeah, would you like to see an example?
Yeah.
We'll write one in. I'll see if I can find one real quick on the page. All right. Of course they wouldn't have one. Okay, we're going to write one in. So this is what I mean by the nice little subtraction sign. So if I have this right here, and I'm going to use the exact same numbers. See how I have too much signs here? So instead of doing this, write it like this. Because adding a negative and subtracting a positive are the same thing.
But then after you add that, you just put
2 minus 1 is 1, and then 5. Just make it a regular subtraction problem. Y'all did this on your homework on the last page, number 2. That's the whole reason why you just subtracted instead of added. So if you missed the last page, number 2, you might have done something like this. This right here is extra. I don't need it. Alrighty. Why don't we do this next one over here? Just because it is, and I want to I want to do these 4, and then we'll look at the bottom section. That sound like a plan to you? Okay. What do you see? Can I add them or subtract them as is? No. Yes, ma'am. No. I'm in the middle of teaching. No. All right, so if I have 3 and 4, what was my first step I need to do? Yeah, find the common denominator. 3, 6, 9, 8, 12, and 12. I'm going to go ahead and pay attention to my negative while I'm here. Times 3, that becomes 9. It doesn't matter which one of your numbers is negative. I usually do the top one negative, or I put it off to the side like they have here. So now I have, and then I've got 1/3, which I'll do that in a different color, that way I don't mess anybody up. So I have 4/12. Because my signs here are different, I'm going to just go ahead and subtract. If it helps, remember difference, so subtract. Since 9 is definitely bigger than 4, it becomes a negative. All right, questions? This is the same stuff you've been doing. It's just adding in some signs. All right, I'm going to leave this right here. First thing I want you to do, make a big old plus sign. Because the opposite of a negative is a positive. Now, for time's sake, I'm going to go ahead and give you that 1/8 is 5/40 and 4/5 is 32/40. This is the same stuff as what we were doing yesterday. What is 6 plus 2?
8.
5 plus 32? 37. And boom, you are done. Any questions? Okay. I'm going to zoom out. We're going to do our next one over here. What do you notice about this problem over here? What do you notice, Carson?
The other one, the one is an integer and the other one's a rational.
Very good. So, am I taking away from what I've already borrowed, basically? pretty much. I'm basically borrowing again. So when I see this, since they both have a negative, and you're like, wait a minute, no they don't. They really do, because if I put a 0 right here, that becomes a subtraction sign just as much. If I'm subtracting 2 times, wouldn't I just add the 2 together?
Yeah.
Keep your sign the same. Questions? Alrighty. Do y'all want to see any of these down here? If you do, hold up fingers of which one you'd like to see. Okay. Did you look at them? Miss Frost? Which one do you think looks the hardest? Seeing a lot of 4s. Some 3s. Although the nice thing about negatives is all you have to do is figure out which one is larger looking. Now go from there. All right, so I'm seeing a lot of 3s and a lot of 4s. What do you think, Miss Frost?
Yeah, I agree.
Which one do you think?
Number 4.
There we go. Okay, so what am I doing actually here? Am I adding those 2 numbers or am I subtracting them?
Subtracting.
What do you see? 2 subtraction signs, right? If I see 2 subtraction signs, and yes, I put a 0 in front of that to make that negative a subtraction sign. They're the same thing. If you have a number in front of the subtraction sign, it's a subtraction. If you don't have a number in front of it, it's a negative. That's the only difference. That's it. So if it confuses you, put a 0. So 7/8, and I'm going to change my type here. That'd be a 40 and 4/5. Oh, good option here. All right. Three and 32/40. What is 5 plus 3? -8, right? What's 35 plus 32?
67. 67.
All right, and since I know y'all don't like dividing, 67 divided by 40. How many times can I subtract it? And I'm going to go ahead and make that a subtraction sign since our overall number is negative. And then I have 27/40. So what's 8 plus 1? 9. Remember, I'm just combining those two because they have the exact same symbol in front of it. Questions? Alrighty, you guys do have a lovely assignment that's about to be in Google Classroom. So if you run across a question, ask me, okay? If you're not sure how to do something, ask me. There is paper over here. You cannot do math without paper. Sorry to tell you. It is very hard. So